Amigos de Película, me siento muy feliz y emocionada por estar frente a Sergio Mendes y John Scheinfeld, director de su más reciente documental In the Key of Joy.
I love what I do.
Sergio, John, welcome to the Película. How are you?
Great. Very great. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
It's so nice to have this opportunity to talk to you about In the Key of Joy. Sergio, you define serendipity as the perfect word to describe the story of your life. In the first minutes of the documentary, I'm curious, can you tell me, how did you arrive to that conclusion? Like, to have one word that describes the story of your life, it's a big deal. That's not easy.
It's good, but I always love the sound of that word, serendipity. And then, of course, I love the meaning. And we don't have that word there's no in English, in Portuguese or Spanish, or even French or Italian. So you have to explain to people it's about the encounter, it's about what happens with that encounter. And serendipity is a pretty word. So, and I think it describes pretty much my life.
It's beautiful. John, music documentaries, we love them, we've seen plenty, and we never get tired. How did you embark on such an ambitious project with Sergio, as he is a different kind of legend as the other legendary musicians you've worked making documentaries from?
Well, this one is all my mother's fault. When I was growing up in the middle of America, she used to play Sergio's records all the time, and she would sing and dance around the house. So I always had a very positive feeling about Sergio and his music. And so when Sergio's label Concord came and said, would you be interested in making a film about Sergio? I hesitated about 5 seconds, and then I said, yes, I'll do it. My mother will be so proud. But it really took me doing some research to see just how wonderful his story was. And then we sat down here at his house and we talked, and I laid out what my idea for the film was. And we had total agreement. And then we spent 2 years making the film. But it was a real, pardon the expression, joy to do.
Alegría.
His music, like I said, it took me to another world. And I felt like this connection with Sergio Mendes.
If you took all of the emotions in the world and put it in one music, it's Brazilian music.
There's so many people who can talk and talk and talk and just say nothing, or nearly nothing. I have used up all the skill I know, and at the end I come to nothing.
Sergio, and how did you react when you heard the news that, okay, you have this amazing record, now we're going to make it a documentary about your life?
I like the idea very much. And before I met John, I watched 2 documentaries that he did. One about John Coltrane and the other one was about Harry Nilsson, and I loved them. And then we met here at the house, and it was like love at first time, first encounter, really. And then he told me what he would like to do, the story, and I thought, let's do it. And I'm so glad we did it.
And the title of the film is so important for us because his personality is very filled with joy, as is his music. I think for you, I hope so as well, that you listen to Sergio's music, you have a beautiful smile, that you will smile every time you hear his music. And I think given where we've been as a world for the last year and some with COVID, we're really excited that HBO is going to show our film, which we intend to be very inspiring and hopeful and make you smile, because which one of us doesn't have to smile after what's been going on the last year?
He's able to span the generations by collaborating with new artists and up-and-coming artists.
That sound was unique in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s. It's still unique.
I wanted to ask you two, what's the key for reinvention? You've been around so many years making such great projects, music, documentaries. What's that key, like, to keep learning and to keep doing things?
I think curiosity, number one, and the joy of learning. When you learn like anything, when you learn how to make a dish, when you learn a language, when you learn something about a great story about somebody's life. So those are the wonderful things, the learning, the curiosity, and then the hard work, the go to the studio and let's try this, let's try that. And sometimes it takes it one shot, one take, and sometimes it takes it longer. So there's really no formula, but stay with the dream, like John said, so important, and if you're working with somebody, say, oh man, it's so great. This is like magical, like working with will.i.am or most of the people that I work with in my life, they were always great experiences to work with them. Very like, wow, man, great, how do you do that? Let me show me that chord again. I say, okay, here's a chord, boom, that kind of thing. That kind of thing, the new, the fresh, the new, that's what's delicious about life.
And I would also add to that, love what you do. If you're taking on a project just for the money, it's never going to be as good. So my attitude is, if I'm going to spend a year or two making a film about an artist like Sergio, I better love the subject and I better love the work that I'm doing. Otherwise, it's not going to turn out so well. So have passion for what you do.
Definitely. Energy never lies, and you too have great and beautiful energy. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your music, Sergio, for your documentary, John. It was amazing to have you both on the película.
Great.
Thank you for having
me.
us. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
It was beautiful. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye-bye.